So we'll move on. So I'm laughing because Man United, buddy.
Hey,
We're moving on to Man United.
Oh.
So they've been rumoured with a whole bunch of players, and one of them is Kolo Muani. So we've seen already in the window that you've bought Kuna and Mbeumo, who you wouldn't necessarily call strikers, probably wingers or tens. So would you be happy with a Kolo Muani, and do you think that's what's going to bring you back to your glory days, lad?
No. Hey, if you think we're going to get back to glory days with one signing, would I take Kolo Muani? I'm not like super inspired by it, I'll be honest. But he's a good he's a good enough striker. He'd be an upgrade on Højlund for sure.
Yeah.
He's got more goals than Højlund. He can make the ball stick a lot better than Højlund and bring others into the game. I think it's hard to know what exactly to expect of our striker coming into this season, because I feel like last season it was so slow. And that was my biggest qualm with Ruben Amorim. I've got some issues in general with Ruben Amorim and the way he wants to play, but my biggest thing last season was this is all far too slow. And so when everyone's getting on Højlund's back, I'm thinking, all right, fairs, because his touch is horrible. He can't bring players into it. He's had a stinker towards the end of the season, but that's not his game. Like when we signed him under Erik ten Hag, the whole point was that he'd be a transitional type striker. And then you've got him back up against strikers that are way stronger than him, way bigger than him. Yeah, he's constantly trying to wrestle centre-backs, which is on him, but it's also clearly an instruction for Ruben Amorim. So would Muani do that better than Højlund? Absolutely, yes. I'm not super inspired by it. We've been linked to Benjamin Sesko, and although I don't necessarily love that either, I would prefer Sesko over Kolo Muani, because I just think financially it makes a lot more sense. I do also wonder if we are going to see a bit of Cunha and a bit of Mbeumo playing up top. But the whole striker position is a bit weird right now. I don't even know if Xerxes can really play there. Xerxes a bit of a, like he said himself, he's a 9.5, 10. There's a lot of question marks with the Ruben Amorim system. So I think, let's see. I wouldn't mind a Kolo Muani. I take him. He's an upgrade on Højlund, but I'm not super inspired by it.
Of course.
To be honest.
He is a top target for Juventus as well, so you'll be entering the race with them, which might be difficult.
And he was good for them, to be fair. When he went out on loan,
his
start was really good. Obviously, he had a bit of a point to prove, so he was really good. But, let's see what happens with that.
One of the other questions is Cunha the real deal, mate?
I like him.
Yeah?
I
like him.
You know what it is? So, we saw with Garnacho, with Rashford, the reason why it didn't work for them is because if you're a number 10 in Ruben Amorim's system, the whole point is you basically drop into that almost number 8 role. In build-up, especially. You drop in and you help the team build up. And that can also then facilitate quicker transitions because you've got the more natural link from defence into attack. We didn't have that, Well, we didn't have that. Garnacho wanted to stay high and wide. Rashford barely played on Amorim, but he wanted to stay high and wide. So he does well in bringing others into it. And also, we don't have any ball carriers in our midfield. He is a ball carrier. He will actually get the ball, turn, and drag us up the pitch. Bruno, I love him. Absolutely adore him, but he doesn't really do that.
Yeah.
He'll ping the ball forward. He'll ping it. He'll bring the ball forward. But he doesn't carry the ball. Cunha carries the ball in a way which we don't really have. I think Mbeumo would do a little bit of that as well, but I'm also hoping Mbeumo is more the man to stretch the pitch and give us that direct threat and running behind. So I like Cunha. He's a maverick kind of player. I think Cunha's the kind of player where if he gets going, he's got a bit of confidence about him.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of swagger about him, then he can really help us. But he's also the kind of player where if it doesn't really go well, then he's not.
He
hasn't got the pace or physicality that would just bring you goals regardless of his confidence. So I like him though. I think he's got the right temperament. When he speaks in interviews, he seems about it. He really wanted to come to the club as well. So I like the signing. I think the fee makes sense. I'm about it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I do rate him. I think he was a fantastic player at Wolves.
He was.
Let's hope that he's not going to be a fantastic player at Man United. Listen, he might be. You never know. They've bought two very talented players in Cunha and Mbeumo. I absolutely love Mbeumo, mate. The way he stretches defences, like you said, pulls the centre backs out or the full back out, and he just creates space for everybody and slots it himself.
He's exactly what they need as well. Hard working player, good attitude. I think.
Only 25.
Given some of the foibles of some of your players in recent years, he is exactly what you want.
Yeah, he's a lot of crosses as well. You know, he played the most crosses in the Premier League last season.
Really,
220 odd. Which surprised me because he's more of a right forward, so you'd expect him to cut inside more often and drive forward. But he put in the most crosses last season in the Premier League.
That's mad. I didn't expect that
for Brentford as well.
Yeah, which if
20 plus goals as well.
Yeah, mate. In Cunha and in Mbeumo, you got 35 Premier League goals last season. But going back to Sesko, if you do get a Sesko, and you've got Mbeumo putting in the crosses, and you've got Dorgo on the other side, hopefully doing the same. then there's a bit that, you know what, generally I'm quite positive about this season. More so because we've only got one game a week to worry about. That's a big
What's
part
your
of it.
aspiration for this season?
Great question.
6th/5th. If we can really try, because I think top 4 is locked down. I think top 4 is locked down with Chelsea, Liverpool, City, and Arsenal. But I think that 5th spot, you got Spurs, Villa, Newcastle, who I think will be pushing for that 5th spot. I think we can be thereabouts if he gets. It's a big if, isn't it? It is a big if, because if he gets it wrong like he did last season, then we're in big trouble. But the signs are good against West Ham. The how we pressed in unison was a lot better. It wasn't so divided in terms of the attack goes, the defense stays. It was a lot better. He's going for a lot of a younger core base of players. Like, for example, he played both Heaven and Yoro in the back line yesterday. Again, it helps us just get forward and play that higher line a little bit. We did get caught out with Bowen, to be fair. Yeah. But I feel okay. I think 5th, 6th. I'll take 6th. I want to get back into Europa League, not Conference League.
Yeah.
But I think we could push because Spurs I think could struggle with Champions League. Same with Newcastle. Aston Villa have serious PSR issues. Maybe there's a 5th spot, but you want to just see his style of play be implemented, a bit of consistency and some goals, man. Yeah. Like, I want to see some goals. We got no goals last season.
Yeah.
Like, Rashford left and he was still like our 3rd highest goal scorer by the end of the season. Like, help us out, lads. So
just that midfield for me.
It's
That midfield needs surgery, man.
Well,
massively.
I think ideally 2 players. I think in that midfield, but minimum 1, just to give legs in there, because it's just too old, and there's nobody that seems to be able to really anchor that midfield, play passes, dictate, control games. It's just too much like rock and roll. It's just crazy.
Yes,
with Agate.
One thing I'll say as well, we haven't really got any ground eaters in midfield, because I think Agate does a bit of that, but not as much as you'd like. Kobe, I love Kobe, and he can do a bit of the passing out the back and linking the play up, but he's not got the legs for it. I'm a little bit worried about Kobe in general, if I'm being completely honest. I think he's one of our most talented players, come from the academy, of course, but he is a 3-man midfield kind of player.
Yes.
He's not a 2-man midfield. He hasn't got the legs for it. I hope Amorim can make it work if you support him with the centre-back so that he doesn't have as much space in behind him to cover, if one of the full-backs can help him out.
Is there a case to be made then that you just go to a 3-5-2? You play Cunha and Mbeumo up top together, and you play maybe Kobe Mainoo, Bruno Fernandes, and you get a new 6, and then you just play like that.
All right, I've spoken about this with mates. I've spoken about this on the United View. Ruben Amorim just won't do it, though.
Oh.
And this is another issue that I've got with Ruben Amorim. He's so stuck on his ways. This 3-4-3 with the 2 inside 10s, I don't think he'll change. So I would like to see that as well, if I'm being completely honest.
Especially Diallo at right wing back, and that's actually.
You know what? He can make it work at right wing back, because he will get licensed to go forward quite a bit, and when he holds the width and he can drive inside, he's a really dangerous player. But against West Ham, for example, I just don't think he influenced the game enough. He was a bit isolated out there. So there's a lot to figure out, and I've said this numerous times. I don't like the 3-4-3. I'm not a fan, but I like Amorim as a personality and as a character to drive change at the club. But the system, I just
because even Mason Mount, I know he's probably like far back in many of your minds, but if he was in a 3-man midfield, I think he'd benefit as well. Just the type of player that he is. So it makes a lot of sense to me, but it sounds like it's not going to happen.
A lot of work to do for Man United, a whole bunch of work. But if you're still here, guys, and you're watching us, please make sure you get the likes up.